So Armed Girls Machiavellism did something that I never expected to see, something that I don't even know if I have seen. And what was that? What it was balancing the comedic aspect of the show with a serious tone, and I even found myself asking myself plenty of times saying, should I have taken that serious or should I have took that in the comedic aspect? But then at the same time I found myself saying, I did take that serious, and I should have taken that serious while still getting amused by it, and the vice versa of that. Armed Girls Machiavellism was a show I watched from start to finish with 4 hours of time. I mean, I just went right through it. And it's a show I said, hey, I can't watch this late night anymore because I feel as if there's something special about it. Sadly, because I noticed myself falling asleep plenty of times, but that's not the point that I'm trying to get at. With Machiavellism's, its unique plot of girls ruling the school and delinquents going there and the guys looking frowned upon, it's a funny plot concept until we actually have a girl known as the Empress and/or a Mao who is also a girl, but is a delinquent also. Now, I actually don't even mean that in a comedic way. The show starts out really lighthearted, and you feel as if it's gonna be a cool action-esque show, along with some comedic and just a general kind of high school-esque show. You think it's gonna be a show to where it's just kind of cliche, kind of unoriginal, but it was everything but that. Armed Girls Machiavellism was a show to where it kind of like transcended a lot of shows. I guess like a lot of people say kind of transcends harem shows. And I think Machiavellism, I'm not sure if it's listed as a harem, but it does have a lot of harem qualities. It's definitely a show to where it transcends that genre and/or that title that is written upon that genre. Armed Girls Machiavellism actually starts off in a cliche manner to where we have our main, I guess, female character per se, which I don't even know if I'd say that because a lot of the girls get so much screen time, which is a big plus on the show. But nonetheless, we have our purple-haired girl, Oni, who actually falls, immediately for our main male character because he calls her pretty after she takes her mask off. But later on, to find out that as soon as, 7 episodes hit, it's like the writing just shame. Instead of feeling that Oni falling for our main male character was cliche, I found it being very fitting due to the fact we get some, background information on her character. The fact that her mother called her ugly due to her husband breaking up with her, and then, her seeing her daughter, seeing her husband within her daughter, this how they look alike, looks similarities, kind of like Endeavor and Todoroki, you know what I mean? So, that gets explained to where, her mother called her ugly because the similarities to her father, and that's while at the same time telling her to wear a mask every time she's around her. And it made sense because no one's ever seen her without her mask. No one's ever gotten the chance to praise someone. I mean, for example, if you were to take someone and say, I don't like you because you're a certain origin, you originate from, you're a descendant of a certain person, but then someone does reach out and say, hey, and or show you compassion and say, I like you for who you are, and I don't care who you come from or where you come from, I like you because you're you. Of course you're going to see that attachment to them, and the writing just kept getting better and better. But what also happened at the same time during the show was the simple fact that it turned really dark, in the fact, in a matter of fact, to where characters almost died. I mean, literally, someone had their orbital, I think it's fracture, I think it's called. I may have messed it up, but please forgive me. But their orbital fracture severed to where they actually couldn't even open their eyes on their own. They had to have surgery, and there's 5 people who are in critical condition and or on the verge of dying. Which was actually another thing that really surprised me with this show, Armed Girls Machiavellism, was the fact that they weren't scared to show blood. They showed blood wherever they wanted. These girls literally used these swords and would literally cut people with them, and they would show blood plenty of times. They show severe, the severity of injuries at times too. They'd even show the cuts that resided within their arms. They didn't really censor anything. It wasn't like a really tragic dark anime like I guess Re:Zero, with limbs flying around, stuff like that. But it was not shy to show you blood, show you cuts, show you the damage that was being inflicted upon the characters through the swords and or whatnot. It even went as far to give us some context on our main male character's past, to where why he uses magic bullets per se, and why he can't use a sword due to his training whenever he is orphaned. The matter of fact, he couldn't use a sword anymore because he trained so hard. He's trained too vigorous. He is trained to an extent to where he couldn't even use swordsmanship anymore. The thing that he was training to become is swordsman. At least that was a dream of his orphaned father. Which, to top this review off, I want to say the build up, the setup for our main male, our main female antagonist, I should say, which was Amao. Introducing her early is something that I really like. Not playing around and just introducing her at the end, saying, hey, I'm the main antagonist, let's fight. Instead, Armed Girls Machiavellism went the route of saying, hey, here's our main antagonist. let's show her, let's have a little, character interaction, let's have them exchange dialogue and remember one another, and then just end it right there and make you wait for another 8 to 9 episodes till you see them again and have them have this all-out brawl, which the fight lived up to the hype. You could argue what you want about other fights in the show and say, yeah, they were mediocre at best, but I felt as if the last fight of the series was most definitely not mediocre. And that was so important for the series, because this wasn't like a, it wasn't like it had multiple arcs or two half of separate arcs. It was a show that had one arc, and it led it from start to beginning, set it up from start to beginning, and it nailed it. It did hit its mark. It didn't play around with this plot, this plot concept. It did not play around with it. It did not leave the plot point, to be later determined in a season 2, but it did leave an open ending for season 2 with our mistress calling someone from another school saying, I found the 2 poisonous people, which I am interested in because one of the poisonous people, a Mal, technically, spoiler alert, left, so now it's just one poisonous person. And who is this girl from another school, and why is she so special, especially since we've seen this girl, these girls that are so strong. How much stronger do people get in this world is the question. But with that, I leave you with this. Armed Girls Machivellism is a show that you should watch, and you should watch it now. If whether you like comedy, whether you want to see someone break that title and or label given on the harem, genre of mediocrity, go watch this, because I don't even know if I would say this is a good show. I would say it's a great show. That's how much I really enjoy the show. That's how much the writing really improved this second half, or I wouldn't say it improved, I'd say it just set itself up to be that way in the second half, to be exploited in the second half. It is nothing but build up and set up, and just having the revelations for some of the characters was really interesting, especially some of our other side characters, like I think it's Satori, I believe, with the green haired girl. You guys will know what I'm talking about. Everything was great, everything was good, and that's why you guys should go watch Armed Girl Machiavellism. I give it my highest rating, A+. I don't do that often. A lot of shows I don't do that too. But this show, I think it went beyond this boundary. It's a show I could say, if it is technically listed as a harem series, which I'd give it that label. I would most definitely put it in my harem Hall of Fame. But as always, guys, you guys have been Hex. We shall leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter X25. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.